So that day, or what they're talking about as far as me taking pictures, I was actually taking pictures of their trash because they've been illegally burning their household trash. My 2-year-old son has leukemia. I developed a really bad hive condition since I've lived here. My face swells. I break out in welts, and I have pictures of what my body looks like, of my face swelling. I have pictures of the burnt trash that they hauled off. They filed this report in retaliation to my complaint to the Environmental Protection Agency for them burning their household trash. They waved at me, so I rolled down my window and I said, "Do you know where liars end up?" That's what I said to them. And I have on my disc Mr. Heath coming on to trespassing onto my property, calling me a chicken, trying to lure me out of my house. And I have him saying that he never stalked me, but he will start stalking me. I have security camera footage of all of this, of Mr. Heath's actions throughout the past, a couple weeks prior to him filing this frivolous complaint. So it's all on here if you'd like to look at it. It's all on this disc if you'd like to look at it. I brought it. I have security camera footage. And he walked up to my Ring camera and said, she's too chicken to come out. This was 3 weeks prior to him filing this report. I don't have the exact date, but it's on my security camera footage. It will show the date of when he was doing all this stuff. He was trespassing, threatening me, calling me a heifer. So he's done a lot of provoking. So that day, when they waved at me, I did roll down my window and I said, "Do you know where liars end up?" And that is all I said. And then I drove off. And when I returned, because, I have to pass their house to get to my driveway. And when I returned, I didn't say anything to them. I went in my house, got my coupon. I was getting a Home Depot coupon. I got it and I left. And that was it. That's all that happened that day.
Okay, being she brought that up about, I did not trespass because her fence comes to the county line. I stood at the fence. I said, "Would you please come move this car out of the road?" FedEx come down and tore the fence down because it got towed because she wouldn't come out. And I told my wife, I said, "She must be chicken to come out." And I did call her a heifer. I do not deny that.
That was at the gate.
No, it was on my land when I said heifer.
You did go to the gate.
I did go to the gate and asked her to come move the car. I did not go on her land.
That is my property. My gate is on my property.
Just because I touch it don't mean I go.
You got the paperwork from the sheriff's office for the petition that Ms. Brock filed against you. All right. I'm looking at that now. In paragraph 3, she makes certain allegations about being in June of 2023, and it's a lot of stuff. I mean, I'm just here today to hear your side of the story. So what do you want to tell me about the allegations that she has made against you, Mr. Cheney?
Could I give you these 2 papers?
Well, I only have one here in front of me, but
to read.
In paragraph 3, she states that starting in June of 2023 until the present date, that you purposely shoot your guns towards her property. So let's just take them one at a time. What about that?
That's untrue. I was in the military back in '70, and I know which way to point the gun. I show my grandsons which way to point the gun. We got over 100 yards we can shoot.
You all live out in the county, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
In a residential.
Hold on, Ms. Brock. I'm gonna come back to you. So, Mr. Cheney, you say when you shoot your guns, they're not towards her property. Is that what you're telling me?
Absolutely, never.
All right, next, she alleges that you drive recklessly in your truck in front of her house and spins his truck tires, hides in different areas of your yard to watch and take pictures of her and her children. What about that?
As far as spinning the tires, I did a little because my foot slipped off the brake And as far as taking pictures of her kids, there's no way. You know, there's enough people in Georgia that know me.
Well, let's don't get into all that. Just answer my questions and we'll get through this a lot quicker. So you deny that as well.
Right.
And then says she alleges that you threw barbed wire on the fence. Now, you two share a common fence line, is that correct? Is the fence yours or hers?
It's with her property.
It's on her property. Okay, well, she says you threw something on the fence without her permission.
No, that's untrue.
Okay. Let me go on a little further here. Okay, she states that she's in fear of her children. All right, Mr. Cheney, in your opinion, have you done anything to intimidate, harass, bother, or put her or her young children in any fear of their safety?
No, I haven't. As far as stalking, she's untrue too.
Well, that's the definition of stalking. But what else do you want to tell me, Mr. Cheney?
I got these papers, if you'll,
What papers? Just tell me what it is.
about when we moved here, what all happened.
Okay, well, just tell me, I'm not sure what you got there, but just tell me, whatever it is you want to tell me, now's the time.
Could my daughter talk? Could I get flustered?
Well, I mean, I'm trying to keep it as low key and not adversarial. I just want to have a conversation with you, Mr. Brock. I mean, just, what do you want to tell me?
I'd like you to read this.
All right, hand it up. All right, can you hand this to Ms. Brock, please? Ms. Brock, I don't know if you've seen this, but I'm going to give you the opportunity to read it.
Okay, and I have some
Yeah, I'm coming to you in just a moment.
documents too. Who's writing this?
Ma'am?
Who wrote this? I don't know where this is, it doesn't say who's writing this. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Do you know who wrote this?
Well, I'm just showing it to you, Mrs. I reviewed it. I wanted you to give the opportunity to you
Okay.
to review it as well, Ms.
Yeah, but
Brock.
I'm
So
just
what do
trying
you
to
want to say about any of those allegations?
Is it Larry writing this?
Well, what do you want to tell me, Ms. Brock?
Property value down. That's not true. So I don't really have anything, I don't really.
Well,
have
I figured
anything to
you
say
just
about it.
generally going to deny it all. I understand that. But what else
I'm
do you
not
want
going
to
to
tell me?
deny it all. That's not true.
All right, well, go ahead, Ms. Brock. What do you want to tell me?
I want to present the letter that, from the appliance repairman,
From the who?
an appliance repairman that came to my house
All right, what is,
describing
just give me
how
the
they were
gist of it.
shooting the guns towards my driveway. And this is a letter from my own 12-year-old child.
All right, let me take a look at it.
And this is these are the pictures that show, and the top picture is his son, Larry, that was driving by the house. Yeah, I'm not going to deny that I had to put tarps up because my family is being stalked and harassed. So yes, I had to put tarps on my fence.
Well, Ms. Brock, are you telling me that any of either the Heaths or Mr. Cheney, did they ever come onto your property?
He will get as close
Is
as
this a
he can.
yes or no, ma'am? Yes or no?
No, not on my property.
All right.
Well, Mr. Heath did, yes, that one day.
When he
But
came to the
as-
gate?
When he came on my property as close as he could to the gate. But Mr. Cheney has never, that I have gotten on camera, but my zip ties on my tarp were cut. So all of the evidence that I have now on security footage was within the last 2 months, because a lot of the actions that they did was almost over a year ago, and I didn't have a camera at the time. So my zip ties were being cut on my tarps. And I have the right to put up privacy fence covers if I'm being stalked.
You absolutely do.
And I do not want my young children, my 12-year-old and my 2-year-old child, being watched by people who have had a criminal history of the same behavior.
Why you say that? How do you know that?
His son already has a court case for aggravated menacing in the state of Ohio. And there's actually a picture right here of his son who lives there. So I've seen his son in the truck. And he drives up and down. He does it on his tractor.
I'm going to ask you one more time, Ms. Brock. Has anybody ever come onto your
Mr.
property?
Heath did, yes, he did.
Who did?
Mr. Heath,
At the gate, what about the ring camera?
Yes.
Which he denies. Okay.
mhm.
Sir,
Yes, sir?
and ask Mr. Solomon where that gate's at. It is on,
Yeah.
right there at county property.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
still
aware.
county property.
He did not go inside the fence. He asked her to come out. She refused to come out. So the boss come. and
Your
they-
ring camera is at the gate or at the door, your house?
Up against my fence,
Up against the fence, okay.
because in one of the pictures, it shows where the property line is.
Well, I don't know where the property line is, and I doubt there's surveyor flags out there to show where it is, and I'm not going to try to make that determination today as to where it is or where it isn't. When your car got towed, Ms. Brock, I get the impression that it's not a full, I don't know, 60-foot right-of-way, that it's a narrow dirt road of some description, but my understanding is your car was blocking that road. Is that correct, Ms. Brock?
It wasn't blocking the road. They were still able to get around my car.
But it got towed by the sheriff's office because the sheriff's office determined it was blocking the road. Is that correct, Ms. Brock?
It doesn't block the road, but if they determined that it was in the road, then that's their determination.
But it
But
got
the,
towed.
yes.
Is
they
that where you
towed it.
normally park your car?
I started parking there after they were sitting outside blocking the entry and exit way to my driveway. Both of them, Mr. Cheney and Mr. Heath, were in the road right here, parked, and I went out there and I asked them if they could move their truck because they were blocking the exit from me being able to leave my driveway. Because this is the layout of the road right here. This is the public road, and this is my driveway down here. Well, Mr. Cheney was parked right here, and I wasn't even able to leave my driveway. So since then, and since he sits at the end he sits in this spot, staring down, looking down the driveway, I made the decision to park in front to where I could walk in the front of my house and go in through the front door to prevent them from watching me and being able to block my car in and prevent me from leaving out of my driveway.
When did that allegedly occur?
What?
You said they blocked your driveway. When do you say that happened?
I have it on video, but I don't have the date stamped on this picture.
Before
But I don't want to
June.
give you a date right now, but I'd have to look on the security camera footage.
All right, does anybody else have anything else they want to tell me? Yes, sir, Mr. Cheney.
The day she's talking about, the Jehovah Witnesses was in front of her fence. I pulled up to talk to Heath on his side, and that's the only reason she couldn't get out, because the Jehovah Witness was parked there, and I couldn't back up in the roadway. So I told her when she come out and she says, "Move your truck," I said, "Why don't you go back in the house and call the sheriff?" You know, I couldn't back up because the Jehovah Witness was there talking to Wayne, and the lady was talking to her, and the two gentlemen was talking to Wayne, and I was just standing there listening because I couldn't get out. So that's untrue.
All right, folks, a couple of things I want to say. Now, I realize this situation out there it's gotten out of control. I think everybody would agree with that. Regardless of how I rule or don't rule or decide or don't decide, I don't want anybody to walk out of here today thinking that just because I signed some piece of paper, it's going to solve everybody's problem. Because you all are still going to be living there.
I've already moved, Your Honor. I just want to put that on the record. I've already moved. I do
When did
not
you
live
do
there
that?
anymore. A couple days ago. So
Oh,
I don't live there
okay.
anymore. I own the house, but
Right, I think you
Yeah.
told me that before. But
Mhm.
you've gotten all your stuff out of it now?
Not all my stuff, but I live elsewhere. I'm getting a
Okay.
place elsewhere to avoid all this situation.
All right, well, let me finish. Of course, I have not met any of the three of you, and I only met Ms. Brock just for a few minutes, and I pointed out to her one thing, and I'm going to point it out to you, is if you look on the paperwork that you filed, Mr. and Ms. Heath and Ms. Cheney, the paperwork that Mr. Cheney, the paperwork you received, the magic word there is temporary. These things are designed to do one thing and one thing only, to keep, I started to say, warring parties away from each other. But it's not permanent. They have an expiration date, maximum of 12 months, unless you come back and file something else. But it doesn't solve the problem. It's a temporary solution that's designed to do one thing and one thing only, is cool the temperature a little bit so that cooler heads can prevail and some permanent resolution can occur. And, you know, Ms. Brock, it doesn't really change my thinking. The fact that you say you don't live there anymore, that's one permanent solution, okay? Live somewhere else. Well, if that's what you're doing. But in any event, I always tell folks that because I want you to understand these things are not designed for the court to run your lives. I don't know if you read all this stuff, but I'm not going to say the court has unlimited discretion as to what the court can or cannot do, but it at least will make everybody's life very uncomfortable, put it like that, because you are constantly having to look through this paperwork and determine, well, is that judge going to send me to jail if I violate his order? And just to be blunt about it, it's a miserable existence having to check a piece of paper that some stranger, because I don't think I know any of you, that some stranger signs that has the authority to tell you how to run your life. Okay? It's miserable. And I don't know if you read it in great detail, but there's all kind of stuff in there about the restrictions that the court can put on there. The court has the discretion to confiscate firearms, to order.
I can guarantee you, Judge, none of them read that paper. Not one word of it. None of it.
For you to not approach the property line, to do all kind of ridiculous, stupid stuff that is absolutely miserable. You can't live like that. That's why it's temporary. It's not designed to solve the problem. It's designed to calm everybody down so that a permanent solution can be found. Okay. 999 times out of 1,000, situations like this result in some sort of domestic dispute that's gotten out of hand. Partners, spouses, significant others, things like that. And none of that applies here. It is practically impossible for me or any other judge to impose any reasonable restrictions on next door neighbors because you live there. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, Mr. Cheney, on the one that I signed, I struck out the provision about staying away from Ms. Brock because it's impossible to do. You live there. You have a common, you have a common property line. All right. Now, I think Judge Burton on yours, she put on there 50 yards, I think. And then that's totally her discretion because I didn't hear what you said. I don't know.
How far the house is apart.
Okay. Well, obviously she determined that you live across the street. Okay. So that's more of a fitting requirement. But, I live in Eastman and Eastman's not much bigger than McRae. And, you're going to run into each other everywhere. One thing I've learned, if you're trying to avoid somebody, the first place you're going to see them is at Walmart or at the grocery store. I mean, it's just the way it happens, okay? And it's almost impossible to make it work in these small towns. It's just, you can't help but run into each other. So I deal with this a lot, is what I'm trying to say, but it's usually in a domestic situation where There's been some real violence where somebody got really hurt. Okay, that's most of what we see. And I don't, for what I'm about to say next, I don't want anybody to think I'm taking sides or that I'm picking on anybody or that I'm none throwing any rocks at anybody. Okay, but this one's not quite, none of these two are as clear cut as what I usually have to deal with, where one party, the aggressor, has, I'm going to say a bad word, has beat the snot out of somebody else. Okay, that's most of what I see up here. And most of the time, there's criminal charges that have resulted from the thing, or a divorce or something like that, where law enforcement gets involved. All right. Now, Ms. Brock, I know you've made these reports about the burning and all that other stuff. That's not before me today. This is a civil matter.
Mm-hmm.
It's perfectly, not only perfectly legal, it's a constitutional right to have firearms, all right? Unless you've got a conviction for a felony or something like that. And these are closer cases, all right? You got every legal right to burn trash on your property out in the county as long as it's not an environmental hazard. And I don't know, Ms. Brock, it might be. I don't know. Okay.
What did you say? To burn trash? You have the right to
I
do
said
that?
to burn trash. If there's an environmental issue, that's another story. Another agency does that, not me. I'm not a cop. I don't have arrest power. I don't make determinations as to who gets arrested and who doesn't.
It's illegal to burn household
hold on.
trash.
Well, you may be right, Ms. Brock, but what I'm trying to tell you is I can't make that determination sitting here today in a civil case. If you're alleging some illegal activities going on, there's other remedies for it, but this ain't it, is what I'm trying to
Oh,
tell
yeah, I
you.
understand. I was just bringing that into, because they were saying that
Well,
I was in the
I
road
understand, Ms.
killing
Brock.
and stuff, but I was
understand.
out there taking
You gotta,
pictures.
if that's what if you're gonna run that rabbit, then you gotta do that somewhere else. I don't have the authority to do that
I have.
sitting here. Okay. Now, I'm not inclined to just pop something off from the hip. All right. I know the tensions are high. I can feel it. All right. I see these a lot. I feel it. There's some real tension here. And to my surprise, I'm amazed there hasn't been some sort of physical altercation that hasn't occurred out there, or wherever out there is. But I will say this, Ms. Brock, it does appear that you have removed yourself from that situation, and
Definitely.
probably a wise thing to do.
Mhm.
Okay.
For our safety, yes.
Well, that's your call.
Mhm.
All right. Well, here's what we're going to do. I just got a message. Apparently we're done. The other case is resolved.
And she said that she wants to announce the settlement to you.
Oh, they're coming anyway at 1:30, but we're not having a hearing. Okay.
Judge, can I say something
Yes, sir.
about the EPD?
About the what now?
She called.
No, I'm not getting involved with that.
What I'm gonna say is, we got a letter cleared us
Okay,
that
well,
we was not doing.
all right. Well, either way, it doesn't have any bearing on my decisions. That's completely irrelevant to me. I don't have anything to do with EPD. Okay. Now, back to where I was about the tension. I can feel it. And I'm going to think on this for a little bit before I make any determinations as to what I'm going to do. In the meantime, everything's going to stay in place just the way it is. And I'm going to excuse you all at this time. Now, here's how we're going to do it. And I know it sounds petty, but I don't want any problems. I can't tell you how many times I have a hearing on one of these things, and somebody in law enforcement come running in here and tell me the parties are brawling out in the parking lot, okay? When that happens, somebody goes to jail. So here's how we're going to resolve that situation. You can call the clerk's office later today, and I'll have my ruling in with the clerk's office, Ms. Royal's office, and you can communicate with her office about getting your copy of the orders. But Ms. Brock, I'm going to ask you or instruct you now to go on, exit, process out of here. Don't hang around out in the parking lot. You go on and get out of here. And Mr. Cheney and the Heath, I'm going to ask you to wait about 5 minutes, and then you process on out of here.
Would you like a copy of this stuff?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, I
You
turned it
answered
over
my
to the
question that
FBI, so.
You answered my question that they did not trespass. Okay, so
Okay.
I have no doubt that that video shows them on your video, but That's not the point.
Okay,
Okay, the
yeah.
point is, did they trespass? And you said no.
Yes,
all
they
right.
did trespass.
So, Ms. Brock, you go on and leave, and then, Mr. Cheney, and then Mr. and Ms. Heath, you wait about 5 minutes, and that will conclude the proceedings for today. All right, you're all excused.
All right, thank you. It's been turned over.
All right, that's it. Well, I guess,
Sir, the only thing I,
no, we're done. I can't talk anymore. She's gone. I can't have any more to do with it. Well, but you don't have to stay there. You can go sit out there in the audience. Right, I was just reading that. So she doesn't want you here? I guess they're all three gonna be here, is the way I read that. Is that what you read it? The mother and the petitioner? Okay. All right, well, I guess I'll be back at 1:30.
Hey, we're gonna need all our bags.
Need who? No.
Judge, do you want me to just go get lunch and come back just to be on the safe side, or?
I'm trying to figure that out. I guess we're probably better, since I don't know what's gonna happen, so.
Okay, that's fine.
Sir?
Yes, sir.
off the record,
No, Mr. Cheney, I can't do it. I can't do it.
I was just gonna say it's a waste of time for the sheriffs to come out. They got other,
Does,